welcome everybody, and thank you guys for joining me to another Devs Talk. The comprehensive weapon and gear balance adjustments have launched or have landed yesterday. My name is Wilky, and we're going to be taking a look at the stuff that awaits us in a couple days when finally the Visional Wheel and Lunar Oracle system will go live. We all already knew about the crossbow, the SMG, and the pistol. Now I will slow this footage down a little bit because for some odd reason they decided to do it in a very haphazardly fast way. This just shows you the arcs or the chain lightning from the new Power Surge crossbow. This one is a bit hard to tell, but you can see the bar at the very bottom here, which basically just shows you that you have one bullet in your mag, and you continuously keep firing while your HP drops. So this is the new SMG effect, and the hazardous object is basically just a grenade when you throw it. It seems that it doesn't deal damage because if any of you ever use explosive, you know that at this range you will most likely blow yourself up. So it seems that this does not deal damage to yourself, which is very, very nice, I think, because it's very easy, especially with wonky hitboxes, to blow yourself up. Curious to see how this one plays out, or how effective this is actually going to be, because I can feel this being a huge ammo drain. So yeah, we have 3 new key armors, or unique armors: overloaded pans, gaining unlimited ammo when dealing power surge damage a number of times. So this is going to be interesting for a lot of power surge weapon, maybe even the Hammerhead Shark, question mark. Then we have the unique armor Charmed Mag Top, which when at fast scan or status, you have a chance to fire extra bullets per shot. The less ammo in your current mag, the higher the chance. This is very much in line with the new SMG, because at 1 ammo or 1 bullet in your mag, there's no way you can go lower, so this will be having a max chance to fire extra bullets. For all this is good. It sounds very good on paper so far. And Viper Mask increases the range of Unstable Bomber, which also deals increased damage proportional to its range. So all of you Unstable Bomber lovers, Jaws, Little Jaws, maybe even Gulp Lore, not sure if anybody's using the gun at this point, this might be cool to look at. Then we have a Treacherous Tide set. This is pretty much the counterweight to the Lunar Oracle sanity damage. The first one seems a bit meh, weapon damage reduction, for whatever reason. The second one, when your HP is below 70%, which should be very easily doable with either the new SMG or both the sanity damage that we're probably going to be taking, you gain a weapon and status damage buff. Then you also reduce the effects of sanity on max HP, so your overall max HP is probably not going to be as low when keeping that set. So you're going to have max sanity damage, but your max HP is not going to reduce as much, so this is also another counterplay to that. And also you will be granted a buff to weapon and status damage when your sanity goes down. I'm curious if this is a permanent thing, or if you get a buff whenever you take sanity damage and then you have to recover sanity to get it again. Curious to see. And then finally we have a shield when your HP is low. Now for the mods, I think this one is by far the one that sounds the most intriguing to me. After switching weapons, you gain fire rate and weapon damage buffs that weaken over time. I think this is the first time they actually promote proper weapon combinations and switching, because so far you pretty much only have the Cradle, and you have the combination of using Bullseye then using your axe to get Fortress Warfare, but this time we actually get a mod to accompany that. Also, quick toss: after using a throwable, you get a fire rate buff and you replenish the magazine of the last weapon held. I think this is also really cool, especially for people that like using throwables. The question is, if throwing knives are accounted for that, I think this is very, very strong, especially for long reloading guns, because you can just yeet out a throwing knife and have your LMG reloaded. So I'm curious to see what's possible with the quick toss mod. For top mods, we have Ardent Shield. When shielded, you gain additional damage reduction, and single instances of damage will not penetrate the shield. So this sounds as you pretty much improve the shield, and you have sort of like a, I guess, shield life, if you will, or shield chance, so that single instances will not be going through. So you have like an ultimate block, which very much goes in line with a shield from the new set. Elemental Resonance is essentially just the counterweight to all of the other stats, just with elemental damage. And Critical Surge gives you a stackable crit damage buff upon reloading. So I'm curious to see how much this is stacking, or how quickly you can stack this, because this would actually play very much into the SMG build, the one with the Kuma Ring, where I ran a very low max size to improve my reload speeds. So if I gained reloadable stuff on reloading, this sounds very interesting for the build that I was using. Shoes: against all odds, you gain a stackable weapon and status damage buff upon receiving damage. I'm curious to see if the new SMG, which takes away HP, counts as receiving damage, because if it does, then for sure we're gonna run this one. And Power of Striving, upon expending stamina, you gain weapon and status damage buff. The lower stamina, the stronger the buff. Might be useful for people that like to roll around, or maybe if you are a fan of managing your stamina. Also, we have a Lunar Oracle mod suffix, and that one gives us crit damage, elemental damage, weapon damage, and status damage, so pretty much all damage as our HP is falling. Now there's new Cradle overrides, but I will be swapping to a different image because I think this one's hard to read. They also uploaded a screenshot in that regard. Lastly, there's a couple fixes. They are fixing the bounce so that you can no longer bounce to friendly targets without the actual pants. They fixed something for Fortress Warfare. They reduced the damage of Pyro, the Pyro Dino, but they didn't say anything about the Boom Boom. So the Boom Boom should still be dealing quite as much damage, just that the Dino itself doesn't deal as much damage, but he was basically just triggering the Boom Boom to deal that insane amount of damage. So they increased the Bermini's chance of triggering bounce, so buffed the Bermini. They increased the damage of Little Jaws, and they increased the damage for Predator, which is the fast gunner gun, if you continuously attack a target. So this is interesting. Also, some stacks will be retained when switching targets, which is really good because very oftentimes you just have to move around in order to keep ads at bay. Increase the maximum number of parts that conflicting memories can hit with shrapnel, but reduce its shrapnel damage against players. So this seems to be, or was, an issue apparently in PvP, but is definitely being buffed for PvE, and fix an issue with incorrect bounce parameters and descriptions for Kuma, Wink, and Precision Bounce. I think this is really good because there's still a whole lot of stuff going on there. As usual, this is not final, so there is subject to change. There are some roll speed and movement speed changes. I'm not going to go through all of these because this is very hard to gauge what exactly they were doing with this. I assume they want to go away from these super lightning fast rolls, or like where you roll like across half of the map. So this is probably getting addressed with that. But how this actually plays out in the actual game is something that we have to test. So I don't want to go too much over that. So this is the image that I was talking about. This is the chart that we've seen before. As usual, I will be putting down the links in the description so you can read this up, because depending on the build, some of these may or may not influence you. The one that I found most interesting, but also most saddening, is the Fast Pursuit one. This one here gave us extra bullets to be fired upon using Fast Gunner. This is sorta now changed to one of the mods that I read on earlier, but for whatever reason, they decided to put even more RNG in here, because upon triggering Fast Gunner, you gain one of the following attacks or effects of random attack: crit rate, crit damage, for 12 seconds up to 5 stacks. I wonder if you can get all three of them. If you can get all three of them, then that's interesting. If not, then that's very weird, because for most guns, crit rate and crit damage is not going to be useful unless you actually run a crit build. And the Memento crit, yeah, we all know it's not the best of the things, but hey, I'm curious to see how this plays out. Definitely read this up for yourself, because some of these changes may actually be very impactful to the builds that you're running. I'm definitely looking forward to what we're going to be seeing in a few days. If you have any questions, as usual, feel free to let me down in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys next time.